rock and roll, you gotta have some skulls. My name is Leo Scala. I was born in former Yugoslavia. I've been building guitars for the last 30 years. I've been involved in custom building. The first project was, I was studying in Moscow at the time, and the first project was that I wanted a custom guitar. Wanted to have a reverse headstock, and it had ebony fingerboard before any were offered, and didn't have the pyramid inlays. It had disappearing spheres through the neck positions and had mahogany body, stereo output with 2 jacks. Still actually have it. A lot of inspiration comes from motorcycles, actually. These are machines which are exposed to completely different elements than guitars. They're on the outside. They rust a lot. The leather is gonna crack, you know, the paint is gonna chip, the metal is gonna rust. Did some work for different companies, and one of them was Gary Kramer Guitars. I've built pretty much the whole platform of that company. All the models were prototyped. I ran overseas production. I made USA Custom Shop instruments, did a bunch of NAMM shows, made NAMM show special instruments. Richard Forrest, definitely, we worked together on quite a few models. Phil X, I worked with him as well, great guy. Doug Aldrich. Warren Kukurula, I made some guitars for him. I repaired Stevie Vai's guitars, and it was really always more about guitars than anything else. It wasn't about superstars, it was about making the right thing, and if they like it, that's great. If they don't, that's great as well. The story of how the project started, well, I have to give it to Cesar. Cesar said, I'm on my way out of Los Angeles, I'm flying back to Nashville, and your shop is right next to LAX, so I'll be on my way out. Maybe I'll swing by and we'll chat for a minute. We didn't spend more than an hour that I remember, maybe an hour and a half, but we just met. I showed him stuff that I do. Cesar said, you know, we would like to, you know, at least I would like to work with you. We would like to work with you. I'm like, you know, I didn't really expect any of that to happen. I've told him I would like to work on a Korina V with the Brazilian fingerboards. Let's just make a story that the 58 Flying V was a successful model, and then the guitar with 1 pickup followed up of the same specifications that you would see in a 58 Flying V. Flying V is an amazing instrument, and it's a platform to be so creative. Throughout all this time that I was building these 10 guitars, the focus was to really capture the spirit of a 58 Flying V and just don't move anywhere from there, and then add certain things. The guys that made these guitars, these Flying V, they were the biggest inspiration for me. The set of people that they said, you know, let's do this. And they sat and they designed and they developed it, and I could relate to everything that it did because I would have to do it on my hand. I actually feel honored that I could do something and give back to Gibson, as everything that I do is just an absolute inspiration that they provided for me. The concept was to keep everything very simple and don't introduce anything else but what you would normally see as a 58 1 pickup guitar. So all the appointments on it are exactly like you would expect them to see on a 58 Flying V. You have the string-through plates at the top, you have the furniture pins that hold them down. All the studs for Tunomatics are the longer version, the 1.5 inch brass. They run through the 50s wiring, they have master volume, master tone, bumblebee caps, custom dog ear pickup rings, white, black, and a metal pickguard, sharing the same appointments as the other ones. Everything is done like you would expect it to be back in the 50s. All of them have custom PAF pickups which are wound. I've made a total of 10 pickups. I've made, I believe, 6 double blacks. I've made 3 zebras, and I've made 1 that is double white. And basically they're randomly installed under the covers, so I don't really know where is which one, but that's what you would get back in the 50s. This would be the set of 3 hybrids, and the reason why they're called hybrids is because they have incorporated stop tails into the V plate that sits on top. Basically, it's using the same footprint as the original brass plate, and it's using the same brass materials. So these are custom-made plates and a custom-made stop tails. So this model offers that you can string the guitar through the body, or you can string it out from the top, or you can do the hybrid stringing, basically going 3 through the body, lower 3 strings, and upper 3 strings would be from the top, which gives you a shorter length of the string, and it gives you easier bending and just different control under your fingers. This one has the hybrid stringing, so out of the 3 hybrids, each one was strung differently. So one hybrid has all the strings coming through the body, one has all the strings coming through the top, and one has 3 and 3. So this is the black one has, you can see that these 3 are coming from the V plate and these 3 are coming from the top. The model is called 777. It's a Korina V which sports Bigsby. The person who actually installed Bigsby on a Korina V was Lonnie Mack, and he always said that his Korina V was the number 7, the 7th guitar in a production of Flying V's back in 1958. So that was the first 7, then I looked at it and I'm like, so which Bigsbys are we installing in these guitars? And it was actually the B7. It's Bigsby B7, so there's a 7 number 2. And by the time I started working on this particular model, I finished the standard classic version, and then I worked on the hybrids. And each one of those had 3 guitars, so there was 3 classics, there was 3 hybrids, and by the time I started working on the first Bigsby Korina Flying V, it was my number 7 in production, so that connects the 3 7s. I had to make custom plates that connect Bigsby to the body. I had to cut these brackets and bevel the edges and make them fit these crossbars. I've used the bridge pickup ring off of my 62 SG. I've used the original ring and I've modified it, made a mold out of it, and turned these into a plastic pickup rings with all the original Gibson 60s, early 60s insignia on the inside of the pickup ring. This one has the etched logo right here. I thought this was cool. I really wanted to do Gibson on the side. And you can see how the whole body of the Bigsby sits on top of the wood. On regular guitars, it's hanging up in the air, all of it. The 10th piece is just like an art piece project, basically. Based on the same concept as the other 3 guitars. It features Korina body, Korina neck, Brazilian rosewood fingerboard. It has the B7 Bigsby that is installed custom on pickup. This one has the metal pickup ring because everything on this one is slightly different. It also has Scala roller tune-o-matic. It has a full symmetrical pickguard, which was basically based on Rick Vito's guitar player of Fleetwood Mac, Rick Vito's 58 Flying V, which was the only one shipped out of a factory with the additional side of the pickguard. I've used some bronze for the dome tops. This guitar has 15 rubies set in 5 in each of the knobs, and the rubies are matching color to the inside of the case. The wiring is completely different on this guitar. It has a different type of a pickup as well. It has 3 knobs and the switch and only 1 pickup. So basically you have a master volume, master tone. 58 Korina Flying V does not go well with graphics. Yet there is graphics in the back, but the graphics had to be done the right way. So had to be done like it's been there for a very, very long time. So I've tried to incorporate all these things, and so you have the Rick Vito meets Lonnie Mack meets graphics meets a lot of etching of the aluminum plates, a lot of custom metal work. It has a very dark color to it. It is called Seraph. It is also using the image of the pickguard. I wanted to bring another aspect of another American product, which is a 1937 Pontiac. For this one, unlike all the other Gibsons, you can go 360 with the arm. So you can do the, or you can do the Stevie Vai and go whatever you want. The cases had to be matching custom type of a product for the whole package, you know, to be complete. I wasn't really sure what to do with it, to make one model and go through 10 of the same. For the longest time I was just staring at them and thinking, what is it I want to do on the artistic level, and what is it I want to bring for the Gibson brand. You know, not just a regular relic. I wanted it to be something very creative, brings new things to the table, and still remains being exactly the same thing that you would expect to see from Gibson.